Hello everybody, David here, and welcome to the episode 8 of my new Let's Play series. Today we're going to do something a little different. I want to get better at doing this shading that I saw on Hermitcraft last season. And I thought, well, I could go back and I could watch lots of episodes, which wouldn't be bad, but I thought instead I would download the Hermitcraft Season 9 game file. So in Hermitcraft. Ooh, little tiny fanboying here. I'm going to try and be serious, or a little more serious. So my plan is to basically go around and fly and see if I can find the different builds that inspired the idea. Mostly B-dubs stuff, and like Zombie Cleo, her castle was pretty nicely shaded, and there's a few others that had it. So I want to just wander around and see if I can find the builds that might be able to teach me a bit better. The castle specifically, because firstly it's a castle, and secondly it's using a similar palette to what I'd chosen. So looking at B-dubs' style of shading and texturing might help me learn to be better. I hope. We'll see. The whole point of the series is to learn to be better and learn new things and do the things that maybe are a little scary. But before we do that, I just want to put a candle here for TFC. He passed away last season, and I didn't watch him, mostly because he wasn't really a builder, not at least at the stage I saw him. This is his build. TFC's ugliest sin starter houselit thingy. He did mostly mines. And so I was watching hermits who did build stuff or redstone stuff in an effort to learn to be better myself. But in my culture, you show deference and respect to the dead when you can. So I hope wherever he is, he's laughing and having fun and, relaxed. So I shall cut so you don't see me wandering aimlessly around the server for like 2 hours. And we'll see what happens from here. Here we are. This is the castle. It's very cool. I particularly love the these are all statue mod with the armor stands. I'm so in awe. How do you do that with statues? The statues mod, that's just amazing. A lion. That's so cool. Lady Cleo. Oh, and it's nighttime. You may have to find a bed. But, like, from a distance, there's only sort of bits of texturing that I notice straight up, like the basalt that outlines the towers and the lighter, I think it's andesite. Yeah, polished andesite. Kind of traces the lines of the different forms, parts of the castle. But when you get right up close, you can see, for example, he's used smooth basalt to sort of add extra texturing, extra darkness underneath those parapets, sticky outy direction bits, the decoration bits. It's like, see these little bits of what look like brickwork from a distance, an actual brickwork, and he's put them in places to sort of accent a potential shape. Like if you go back, those vertical lines look like they're actually something that stick out, but they're just basalt. And he's put the dark bits at the top and the bottom and light bits in the middle, as if there's light coming down this way, like from this direction, which I believe is south. South, yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to find anything in here. Oh. But like he's even done it a bit inside too. Little closet, okay. Just see if I find a bed. A real bed. That's not a real bed. I might have to just get a bed to make it daytime again. Okay, we might be able to see the details a little better in the daytime. See, like up close, it's very busy and looks kind of random, but then when you go back, the random sort of expands into extra detail. The vertical basalt looks like pillars, like they actually stick out from the wall. Same with these, the polished, these bits. The other kind of basalt. Yeah, polished versus normal. And he's used lighter bricks, lighter stone and grey sort of. See, there's normal stone, andesite wool. I think I saw powdered concrete as well. So he's used all sorts of blocks that are sort of the same tone of colour, hue, the same darkness with the same amount of blue in them, to sort of make this all look like one brick, one kind of block, but from a distance, but close up it's not. So it adds extra detail where there can't possibly be detail. But he's even done, see there's the arch, and then he's put a slightly darker version of deep slate here to accent that it's there's a shade there. It's so fascinating. What's amusing is I actually used to do art. I used to do like pencil and stuff. So I know a bit about shading and things like that. I only did it at school, high school, but it's like here's another one where he does it. You got this tower that sticks out, and then he's added darker grey wool to make it look more sticky outy. It's like he's picked where the light is coming from and stuck to that. Fascinating. It's a beautiful castle. It's so hard to do castles. Look at the roof. See, that's a different kind of shading. It's kind of more circular shading. See, there's the lighter through here, and it gets darker and darker till it gets on the other side. Again, it's as if the light's coming kind of from that south, north, southeast. I presume in the northern hemisphere the sun goes kind of so like east across south to west, whereas in New Zealand it's east across the north. Instead of, it doesn't go straight over like it does in the game. There's an angle. So that maybe is what he's simulating. That this is where the light hits the castle the most. Which is really fascinating because he's done that with all of the roofs. See the line of lighter blocks. Hey, it's brilliant, dude. Jeepers. I think that's a lighting glitch. Okay. It is a lighting glitch, but it won't get fixed. But see, there's even a darker area here, which kind of, it's almost like, because the light's coming from this direction, as it comes down onto this lip, it's then darker underneath it. So it's like pencil shading concepts, which is really fascinating. It's a really pretty castle. I would love to be this good at building. I generally need like a thing to copy. I'm really good at copying things. So if you give me a building to copy, I can copy it. But designing something from nothing, or just from a concept, I'd have to like sketch it out and work out the basic shape and size and scale of it before I could make it from scratch. See, like he's even done it on this side. Assuming the light comes from this direction. It's light at the top, darker there, and then light on this edge, which is seen by... He's really thought about where the light comes from. It's so interesting. So he's done the shading here as well. Use the smooth basalt underneath to add a darker line in contrast to the deep slate here, so that it adds extra shading. And this light side here of this sticky outy tail bit makes it look like it's sticking out even further. And he's adjusted the light on this side as well. He must be a visual media artist, not just a YouTuber. That's so cool. Not just a YouTuber, you know what I mean. Someone who does sketching with light or painting. He's done that with the... See, it's dark on this side. And the wall is dark on this side, and then on this side it's light. That's so cool. I don't know if I could replicate that level of detail on my castles, but I look forward to giving it a go. And this is Cleo's castle. It's beautiful. That's the the shopping district over there. You can see the top of Azuma's bone shop, which was basically a skeleton arm. It was pretty amazing. I kind of want to look at everything, but there isn't really time. But she did a similar thing with the texturing, the shading. So you're putting the darker stuff at the bottom and then lighter stuff at the top. So it's a slightly different style. But it's still shading. And it's lovely. But you see, she's mixed the dark, the scale from dark to light to lighter, well, lighter dark to light, as if the light is coming from above. It's hard to do this because there's, well, 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 colours or shades to get this level of shade difference. It's quite hard with Minecraft blocks because many of them have sort of like a red or a blue or a green undertone, and so then they sort of clash. Like one of them is kind of purpley. But she's managed to keep the colour, like this one's slightly green. Tough is a bit green. But because she's got there's green all over the place, it doesn't clash. So you've got to think about like the colour tone and the shade tone, and I haven't quite got to that level, even though I kind of understand the theory. But there's been so much thought put into what blocks, what shade, which ones have colour, and how to match it so it doesn't clash. And so much green in the main, as a main colour for the build, and it doesn't clash with the bits that are a little green, like the tuff. You can't really see the green until the light comes, but you compare it to the other grey shades, it is slightly vaguely green. I always have trouble trying to get the right colour matching. It's even textured some of the wood, which is hard to do as well. We'd love to be this good. I mean, get a modern building or even an old building, I can mimic its shape. I can create its shape and scale relatively well. But stuff from whole cloth, not quite so much. I love how the hermits texture their paths, because you've got like this rooted dirt, and you've got coarse dirt, and then you've got like dirt and grass, and this is a path block, but it's sort of, it's the wrong colour, but somehow it works. Very cool. And like these two kinds of greens kind of clash, but in this context it doesn't. Probably because there are other matching shades of the same green and more moss. It's very cool. I focus really quite deeply on the shape rather than necessarily the shade of things and the right colours and stuff. I'd love to practice doing this. Ooh, she's got, okay, that's dark grey concrete, yeah, grey wool, basalt, to deep slate, and then the other kind of deep slate, and then tough and normal stone, wool, concrete powder. Such a neat palette. Right, my builder brain wants to, like, I don't know, change the frequency of each block, but I'm hypercritical of my own stuff, so I need to tell my editor brain to be quiet. Look at this. See the way that it's the green, the tough blocks, these ones, they're scattered sort of, it looks randomly across there, but if you actually go back, it adds that shading aspect. It sort of tells you that this bit here sticks out. It's really neat. I might have to go and try and find more calcite. It's such a pain to find calcite because it's you only find it in geodes or a certain kind of mountain. I can't remember, but it's not a common biome, so I'd have to do a lot of wandering. I tend to fall off things when I wander too far. The shape of it, like if you go up above it, so at the deck there, you can see the line around the outside is the same shape mostly as the actual building. It adds, it's not just a place for people to stand, it adds extra shape to the overall shape of the buildings. I missed quite a few of her videos in the middle, but I saw her, she started with just blocks. There were just boxes of varying different heights, and the basic core of the texture shading texture, and then Cleo just added everything else, like the roofs and all the greenery and all the decorations and the windows and the doors and the porch, balcony, whatever word you want to use. So it started off as boxes and turned into this. It's so cool. welcome back. There were a few hiccups in the whole process. Time being the main problem. I actually recorded about an hour of going through the Hermitcraft server and had to whittle it down to 20 minutes. So you didn't get to see all of what I saw and stuff. I may do another episode looking at Hermitcrafty things, or just like a bonus look at this anti-squeeing. I'd love to go and have a look at Scar's Scar's Disneyland build, or actually Scarland build, I guess, technically. And then all of this shading took a lot longer than I thought it would. It's amazing how hard it is to, like, I had to go up, start, and then come back, and then go forward, and then go up a scaffold, and then go back again, and then back and forth, and back and forth, back and forth. Couldn't systematically do it without, like, having done it before and then going off the plan. I wanted to try and do as much of these things sort of in the game, in survival mode, as I can. But I hope I've included enough so that you can see what can be done and how much I've learned, and I like it. It's I think it's a lot better if at a distance, because when I'm too close up I can't really see what I want, but when you go to distance it looks a lot more like shading. It was very much like I remember the process needed for shading with a pencil, like in black and white. I did a lot of black and white at school when I was doing art. I was never gifted or anything like that, but I learned about the principles of shading and colour, or trying to get the colour to work. And the hardest part was actually visualising where the light would go, because I kind of imagined it coming from this angle, that way. But because they're not one flat surface, it's not just one sort of diagonal bit, it's multiple diagonals that don't actually connect. And then if the light is here, then the bits that go inward have to be darker than the bits that go outward. So it's very difficult to get the pattern working. But I like it, and I think I've remembered why I liked art, because I like the imagining, I like the visualizing. I tried to do the tower, but this is survival, and I have a hand that doesn't really work terribly well, and it happens to be the left hand, so my character falls off everything. And because I'm in survival, I don't have wings. I suppose I could probably get boots with feather falling or whatever on it, but I like how it's done. There wasn't time, because this took so long, there wasn't time to do the other castle. But we'll see if there's time next time, or I just get bored sometime and have a go off screen. But I like how it looks. This other one looks... Hello, pussycat. This bit here in particular was really hard. I kept falling off, and I think once I fell down there. And I couldn't really get in behind there, so that hasn't been... Behind the portal hasn't really been textured. I think it's all deep slate. I won't fall down that hole. So I think it looks pretty good. I do like it a lot more when it's further away. I had to put this trapdoor on there because that's where a oops. I'll just see if I can. There we go. It's a composter in the wall for one of the villages. I thought I could maybe move it, but there isn't really anywhere else to put it, so that window has a little tiny window ledge attached to it. This was kind of fun because the light's coming directly at it, so I have this big panel of wool in the middle, which is pretty cool. I did I tried to make this wall look a little bit more deliberate, so it's now a balcony, like a proper balcony with it. You can't see it, but there's a door as well. And it took a little while to get the wall at the back of the balcony to have a good shape, because the transition from tuff to andesite to wool, it's very sharp. There isn't really a median shade, but I like it. It looks much better, and every time I was going, no, I'm going to do something else for this episode, and got frustrated and whatever, I'd stop and go, no, I promised I would do videos about stuff that's hard, so you can watch, well, either have the entertainment of watching me get frustrated or make mistakes, but also to show that it's okay to make mistakes while learning, you know. And so yeah, every time I was like, no, screw this is too hard, bah! I'd go away, and then I'd come back and I'd go, okay, no, I want to focus on this being a Wii, even though right now Wii is apparently 18 followers. Which, yeah, it's not bad, it's just not as much as I'd like. I'd like to figure out what I love to do that's interesting to others. But so far, I'm quite happy with it. I had to take down a lot of the glow berries because they were in the way. I may put them back up again. And I might be brave enough to try and do the shading up there. But next week, next episode, just get up here. Oops, wrong direction. F5 view is sometimes quite fiddly. Right. So, next episode, I'm thinking we could do the first attempts at trying to figure out potions or redstone. So, witchery or electronics. So if you have a preference, put a comment down below. Let me know. Otherwise, I will make the decision when I get there. But for now, I hope you have a good 10 days. Aranitasa.